Good morning, students. Now let's move to the another most important part of the reproduction. How do organisms reproduce? The sexual reproduction in plants. When we go for the sexual reproduction in plants, remember we have to know a flower. Flower is the part in the plant where sexual reproduction takes place. So we'll be knowing flower. So in that case, students, first of all, we need to know the parts of a flower. This one that I have drawn is the calyx. Okay? Then these are the corolla. Generally, you are finding a flower all these parts, and depends upon you all how you have noticed the flower. That is the most important. How we notice a flower, and a flower has all these parts, and we will be knowing all this. See, the flower generally has 4 parts. Try to get it. How many? 4 parts, and they are also called whorls. W-H-O-R-L-S. Parts. 4. How many? Parts or whorls. Okay. First is this one, calyx. Calyx. This one is calyx. Okay. This one is what? Calyx. Next is number 2 is corolla. This black one that I have drawn here, all these parts, you can see these are these black color one are called what? Corolla. Corolla. Next is the third one is the androecium. A-N-D-R-O-E-C-I-U-M. Androecium. These are the parts which are called what? Androecium. Diagram is in blue. Finally, the last one, 4th one, is gynoecium. Gynoecium is the female part. This is what? Gynoecium. So these are the parts of a flower. I think you have seen the flower. Flower look like this. Okay. Now we have to know step by step each one of these. First we'll start with what? Calyx. So in knowing its parts, so I am rubbing this one, calyx this one, so I will be keeping this one. Calyx, they are the one which remain at the bottom of a flower, and it gives protection. But first of all, we need to know the parts of a calyx. This is calyx. So this one, calyx, parts of calyx. How? This is calyx. Together it is called what? Calyx. These parts are called what? Sepals. Sepals. Parts are called what? Sepals. What is the function? It gives protection. Protection to whom? Protection to the flower when it is in bud condition. Why? Otherwise it will be blown easily by the wind or carried away by the rain or water. So that's why what it does? Protection. Now next come to the most important thing, There is the corolla. What the corolla does? Let's go for corolla now. Corolla, that was the flower like this, sepals, and here all these parts, these are called what? Corolla. Parts of this are corolla. Parts are called, these parts of corolla are called petals. They are called what? Petals. They are brightly colored. Try to get it. Color of the corolla is the color of the flower. It may be green, blue, orange, red, white, whatever it is, we call it to be the color of the flower. Okay. Why it is colored like that? To help the insect for pollination. So, its main function is what? Pollination. So, first one is protection. Then we have found another one. This is called what? This is pollination. Earlier one is what? Protection. These two parts, calyx and the corolla, they are called the accessory part. accessory, accessory. What is the meaning of accessory? Who assist? Without them, it is difficult. So they assist. They are called accessory part. Okay. Now let's come to the next most important part is the endoecium. Okay. In case of endoecium, the parts are called what? Endoecium. A-N-D-R-O-E-C-I-U-M. Endoecium. Parts are called what? Stamens. See, try to get it. And I am drawing one stamens like this. It may be like this. It may be like this, any form. But generally, a stamen has two parts. Upper part is known as N.C.E.R.T. and lower one is called what? Filament. Try to get it. Most important thing. Upper part is called what? N.C.E.R.T. and lower is filament. Now, this is the N.C.E.R.T. If we make a transverse section, when transverse section is like this, we find this one to have four-sex structure like this. So, a transverse section has been made. Okay? That means upper part, we made a cut. So this, when we make a transverse section, we find there is occurrence of four sac. How many sac? Four sac. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are called pollen sac. Okay? Pollen sac has in it pollen grain. I am putting it to the red. See. Number of pollen grains, uncountable, you cannot count. That's what? Pollen grain. Pollen sac was pollen grain. How it look like? Just have an idea. This is a pollen grain that I have drawn for you. A pollen grain has an outer layer called exine, E-X-I-N-E, exine. Inner one is called intine and a nucleus. Nucleus. So this is what? Pollen grain. So what is its function? Endoecium is the male part of the flower. So it helps in reproduction. The one that will be coming now, endoecium and gynoecium, are the one which helps in reproduction. So they are called what? Main, M-A-I-N, main part of the flower. So let's now move to the gynoecium part. Last one. Gynoecium is having mainly three parts. This is called stigma, style, and ovary. Now try to get it one thing. Parts of gynoecium. There are also parts. Names are also there, just like the other. They are called what? Gynoecium parts are called what? Carpel. They are called carpel or pistil. But thing is that generally gynoecium is present in singular number, only one. So even though it has parts which could be named, as it has majority cases having one gynoecium, so this one also can be called as what? Gynoecium. This one is what? Can be called as what? Gynoecium. If I call it to be carpel, I am not wrong, because gynoecium, as there is not many carpels, only one, so we can call it as what? Gynoecium. Stigma is sticky. So parts are what? Stigma style in ovary. Stigma is sticky. Why sticky? S-T-I-C-K-Y, sticky. To keep the pollen grain when it falls on it. Style is a hollow tube through which the pollen tube moves. And the ovary contains egg. These are the parts related to the different functions and process which takes place in the sexual reproduction. Remember one thing, they are also helping, accessory also helping in the process of reproduction. Okay? So, thank you. We'll be going more in the coming